Did you know that in the heart of southeastern Nigeria once stood a place so feared, so powerful that even kings bowed before its judgment? It was the final court of justice for an entire civilization. Her name was Ibini Ukpabi, the long Juju of Arochukwu, but the people called her something else. Chukwu, God resides here. Long before the Aro Confederacy rose to prominence, the land that is now Arochukwu was ruled by the Ibibio people. They were strong, proud, skilled in medicine, farming, and divination. Among them was a priestess. Her name is long forgotten, but her legacy birthed Ibini Ukpabi. She was said to have vanished into a cave one night during a thunderstorm. A bolt of lightning struck the mouth of the cave, and the next morning the elders said, "She has been taken, chosen. She is no longer woman, she is spirit." Thus, the cave became a sacred space, and from its depths came Ibini Ukpabi, a female deity of fire, judgment, and truth. When the Aro people overthrew the Ibibio rulers with help from neighboring allies and mercenaries, they spared the sacred grave. They built around it, protected it, elevated it. They did not destroy the oracle, they made it supreme. From then on, anyone in Igboland who was accused of murder, poisoning, theft, or sorcery was sent to Arochukwu, to the oracle. If you were innocent, the oracle would spare you, but if you were guilty, you never returned. To reach the shrine of Ibini Ukpabi, you had to walk a long path through the forest. It was not just a walk, it was a trial of fear. There was the hill of rags, where the condemned stripped their clothes and their pride. There was the tunnel of disappearance, where men entered but were never seen again. There were stones of truth and a pool of red water called Iyi Eke, believed to be the blood of the guilty. If you were judged innocent, you were returned through a separate route, fed, cleansed, and given gifts. But if you were judged guilty, you were never seen again. You see, the long Juju had two faces. One was holy, the other was horrific. Because behind the oracle's final judgment, there were tunnels, hidden passageways, dark corridors. And these did not lead to the spirit world. They led to the coast. It is said that over 200 people each year, men, women, the accused, were secretly sent through these tunnels and sold into slavery. Some say the oracle was corrupted by power, others say the priests became merchants of flesh, turning justice into a business. But the people, they still feared her. Ibini Ukpabi does not lie, they said. If they never returned, they must have been guilty. Inside the shrine was a statue of the oracle. It had one massive eye, carved from shiny stone that glowed in the dim light of oil lamps. Some said the eye could see through your soul. Others said the priest used hidden holes to observe the accused and make judgments. But to the people, the oracle was divine. Women brought offerings for fertility, warriors came to swear loyalty, priests came to ask for visions before war, and the whispers grew. She does not sleep. She drinks the truth from your bones. She knows what you did, even in your dreams. The oracle of Ibini Ukpabi was no longer just a shrine. It became the heart of a political machine. Out of its spiritual authority rose the Aro Confederacy, a vast network of priest kings, traders, and warriors, united by one thing: control of truth and justice through fear. The Aro people spread across southeastern Nigeria like veins of power. Every town that doubted them, every chief that rebelled was reminded that the oracle watches. When two clans quarreled, it was the oracle who decided. When a man refused to pay tribute, he was summoned. When a woman was accused of witchcraft, she was sent down the path, never to return. a new phrase was born in the villages. Kamiegi Aro, let me hand you over to Arochukwu. It was not a threat, it was a sentence. With time, the line between divine judgment and human corruption blurred. The priests of Ibini Ukpabi were once seen as servants of the gods, but whispers began to swell. Some said they began accepting gifts to sway the oracle's will. Others spoke of innocents who vanished because a rival paid their way to the tunnels. Some families never saw their loved ones again, not because they were guilty, but because they were profitable. The oracle became currency, and the slave trade grew fangs. Beneath the shrine, through the stone corridors and blood-red pools, there were hidden escape routes. These tunnels did not lead to freedom. They led to Calabar, Boni, Opobo, Badagry. Through secret pacts with coastal slave merchants and European traders, the oracle's guilty were funneled into the transatlantic slave trade. The people still feared her, still revered her, but the truth was darker than any prophecy. Each year, hundreds of men and women disappeared and their screams were swallowed by the soil of Arochukwu. In the late 1800s, as the British Empire tightened its grip on West Africa, they began to hear stories of this mysterious court, a place where justice was not argued but declared, where humans disappeared, where the people obeyed without question. They called it the Long Juju. They laughed at it at first until they saw it. The British soldiers who visited the oracle's cave never forgot what they saw. The long, winding judgment path, the carved eye that glowed in the dark, the stone walls echoing chants older than their empire. They tried to speak to the high priest. The priest remained calm. We do not judge by man's law, they said. We answer to the gods. But the British did not come to negotiate with gods. In 1901, the British launched a full-scale invasion on Arochukwu. The war was fierce, the Aro warriors fought with courage, but the guns of the empire were louder than the voices of the ancestors. They set fire to villages, they stormed the shrine, they bombarded the sacred cave with cannons. The oracle's statue was shattered, the tunnels were destroyed, and Ibini Ukpabi's voice went silent. But the fear, the stories, they never died. Though the shrine lies in ruins, the people still whisper. The oracle did not die. She only retreated. Some say she still speaks through dreams. Others claim the cave is not empty, that the eye is still there, buried in ash, watching, waiting. Every year, people still visit Arochukwu. They come to see the ruins, walk the judgment path, and stand where thousands once stood in fear and faith. The Long Juju is now a relic, but Ibini Ukpabi, she is a legend. A female deity who once ruled justice, life, and death. A spirit who watched the rise and fall of kingdoms. And a reminder that in Africa, power is never just what you see.